Hey, hi. Welcome to the raw chicken demo. I'm Karen Elliott, independent sales consultant for Norwex. And let's see what happens when we try and clean up chicken with Envirocloth. Okay? So, first, we're going to use these protein swabs. And what they do is test for protein. When it finds protein, the swab is going to turn purple. And when the surface is clean, it's going to stay green. All right, so I've got my raw chicken. I've got my wet Envirocloth. And you're going to see me use the tag side. There's nothing special about the tag side. I just want to remember what side I used for later on. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you, protein is 100 to 200 times smaller than bacteria. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's take this raw chicken. A lot of people get freaked out around raw chicken, right? You don't have to anymore. Watch this. Just smear the raw chicken around on the cutting board here, and then I'm going to swipe the board with my protein swab, okay? Make sure we get it nice and covered from all the residue the chicken left behind. It is going to be interesting. All right. Okay. And immediately you see it's starting to turn purple. That's because it found protein. Of course it did, right? Look at that. All right, so then I'm going to take my Envirocloth, and it's just damp with water. That's it. I'm going to wipe the surface. And what I'm doing is mechanically cleaning. So I don't need any wipes. I don't need any sprays. I don't need a particular contact time. I don't need paper towels. And there's no chemical residue left behind. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my second swab, and we're going to wipe the surface with it again, right around where I had the chicken. Okay? And we're going to put it back in, and let's see what happens. What color is that? See that? That is green. That means the surface is clean. So then people start to wonder about, okay, well, what about if you use that cloth and wipe another surface? Let's see. Tag side again. I'm wiping that surface again. There's my green swab. Let's swab the surface again. See what happens. Look at that. It's staying green. See? Still green. What if I swab the surface of the cloth? Right? Because you're going to think, oh, well, it must be on the surface of the cloth. But look at that. It's still green. How does that possibly work? Now, let's swab the chicken and see what happens. I bet you can guess. Immediately, it's purple. See that? I've got two dirty swabs now. This is how easy cleaning can be. Water, a Norwex Envirocloth, and wipe. It's that simple. Okay, so how did that work, right? Here's the thing. Norwex microfiber is so different from other microfiber on the market. First of all, the size of the fiber is so tiny. Other microfiber is 1/6 of a human hair. Norwex microfiber is 1/200th of a human hair. And there is so much fiber in here, it will stretch from Canada to Mexico. Canada to Mexico. In here, in this cloth. The next thing that makes our cloth different is the fact that It contains backlock, and you'll see it right here on the tag. Backlock is microsilver. Bacteria cannot survive in the presence of silver. How cool is that, right? So, this cloth self-purifies itself. And Envirocloth will help you clean 80% of your house with just water. So here's how you look after your Norwex microfiber. You're going to wash it in hot water, especially if you just clean chicken. And you're going to use a detergent that has no fillers and no fragrances. You don't want any fabric softeners in there either. And no dryer sheets, no bleach. Let's talk about clutter for a second. What's in your cleaning cabinet? What if I told you you could replace all of it for an Envirocloth? You could clean 80% of your house with just your Envirocloth and water. Decluttering. Declutter your cleaning.